Well, this Wednesday we're still fooling around at the Narrow Gauge Convention in Denver, Colorado. Want to look at some of the modular railroads that have shown up. They're just really, really cool. There's so much stuff that shows up at these narrow gauge conventions that you can't see everything. You can't even come close to seeing 10% of it. But it's well worth checking out the modular railroads that are set up right in the convention hall. I was at the Narrow Gauge Convention back in 1996 that was held just down the road from here at Colorado Springs. That was a really great convention, but in going through some of this old footage, it's really fun to see what faces pop up. Just kind of fun remembering all these people from back then. And some of the quirky little railroads that were there, and some of the modular groups. One thing about these modular railroads is you're never sure if you're ever going to see them again. They may be in next year's convention, and they may be dismantled next week. You're just never sure what's going to happen. This is Cliff Grandt. He was a legend in model railroading, particularly in narrow gauge model railroading. Fun to run into footage of Cliff. Here again, you're just never sure if you're ever going to see these people again. This is Robert Richardson, and was definitely the last time I saw him, founder of the Colorado Railroad Museum in Golden. And the modular railroads. Lots and lots of fun with the modular railroads, and there were some really good ones there that year. Lots of HON3 railroads, and back then that was a real nightmare getting these things to run right. Just keeping the stuff on the track was a real project. So a lot of people were gravitating over to the larger scales. This is the Slim Rail group, really, really nifty modular railroad here at the convention in 1996. I have no idea if this railroad still exists or if this group still exists. Holding a modular railroad group together is, well, it's almost more difficult than holding a heavy metal band together. The whole thing just wants to constantly break up and go away. The key is having a group of people who really get along with each other and can set aside the petty arguments and just get down to the business of screwing around. Well, let's get back to the subject at hand, the 2017 Narrow Gauge Convention. There was some just really cool modular railroads here, and there was a group that I've just been dying to meet, the Colorado O-Scalers. Now, these guys don't model narrow gauge, at least not on this particular railroad. This is all O-standard. But these guys are something of a legend around Colorado, and they're so darn good-natured and everything, it just wouldn't be a convention to not have them there. So I suppose their standard gauge proclivities were forgiven and they were invited to the convention. Now, we all know that anything can be done in any scale, but in O-scale you can actually see it even if you're of a particular age and your eyesight is failing, including really nice building interiors. Check out the neon sign here. These guys were actually inspired by our fun movie on neon signs and got some wire from That's Cool Wire and built neon signs for their railroad. How cool is that? I love seeing these cityscapes in O-scale. They're so big, they're just impressive. We're planning a 20th scale cityscape in the kitchen over at Garage Mahal, but we're not going to be able to do much because of the sheer size of the buildings. But this particular little cityscape really gave us some inspiration toward that project. And the other side of the railroad is rural farmlands. That turned out really, really cool. I love this little garden that these people have planted. Not sure what those flowers are, but there may be some sort of radioactivity involved to get them to look like that. Well, this was a really fun group and a really great railroad. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, do become one by clicking on the blue button. Yep, there it is, right down there in the lower right corner, blue button. Click on that, it will take you to the channel and make you a subscriber. If you don't see it, it's probably because it's not supported on your device. But you can go to the channel and subscribe anyway. And while you're over there, like and share the movies. That's always fun.